Fantastic. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome here to our talk. I'm very happy that, and I'm excited to be here together with Valeria. It happened a couple of weeks ago. We had a steering meeting with our partners, with Fraunhofer Softpark and us from Fairplay Towage Group. Normally my head of IT should be here to explain what we're doing, but then we came up to this topic and said, Holger, maybe this is something you want to present? And I said, yeah, no problem. Following your topics, I think we have clearly, or if you have questions later on, we really need to split between what is the project, and I will be happy to answer any question in regards to shipping, because otherwise it's not any longer my topic. Here I like very much the first picture, because I would like to give you a small journey of what are we doing, what is towage, how is it related to shipping. Normally we have a couple of principles in shipping that we try to keep away from any object, so the more far we are away, the better we can protect our vessels, our cargo and our personnel. In towage we do exactly the opposite. We guide vessels into the port, therefore we are super close, trying to help our customers to steer the vessel, but it's pretty much the reverse idea of shipping. We had to find a couple of cases in the maritime sector. So we have the routing problems, where how to steer the right vessels, should start in port A, going to port B, how do we do the routing correctly? We have the berth assignments, in which terminal should it go, is it free, what about the window system? We have the crane optimization, someone maybe knows it from the container industry, but also how to have the right personnel on board, and also land-based. So there's a challenge. Today we talk about AIDAQ scheduling, because there's some complexity in it. Someone could know, and I heard this in some previous talks, is it similar to a taxi organization, where it's like you have a couple of taxis, cars transporting some customers? It could be seen similar, but it's not. With a taxi, if you're not happy with a taxi driver, you literally can walk. With a vessel, if your customer comes, he has to enter the port. If we as an operator are not able to do this, then it might there might be an accident. People could die. Therefore, we have to be extremely cautious. It's one of the most dangerous and most critical operation within the harbor. What are we doing? We have this project, Quantum AIDAQ Scheduling. It's a new project. We started July, August this year, so we just started with our project. We haven't received yet the result. Valeria later on will present how did we ask the right questions with regards to it, but we are still there at the beginning of it. Why do we need this? Also here you can see how AIDAQ is turning a vessel. Big container vessels, tankers, bulkers, they have a draft of maybe 12 to 16 meters. They cannot turn on their own. They have to be turned while entering the port. Otherwise, they cannot leave in case of an emergency. Therefore, we have to help them. It's not a way, maybe some of you have some ideas about sport boats, where you have a thruster. With these vessels, you cannot have a thruster. Therefore, they need to be turned. It's extremely complex, the entire situation, because here we see everything is nice. Summer, you could think about, or maybe you need 2 tugs or something. But mid of September, the high wind season starts, and luckily by 15th of September, we already had 50 knots outside the North Sea, so we have a complete different picture. Weather conditions might change. Also, we are very much depending on pilots, because the pilot is supposed to be who steers the entire operation, and at the end we have to work together in order to complete. It's a complex communication chain. together with the master of the vessel, the TAC masters as well, the pilot. It need to fit into each other, but weather conditions are very, very important. The current, the tide, the other requirements. For example, wind force. If we have certain wind forces with a 400-meter vessel, it's equivalent to about 77 tennis courts. So the wind force of 77 tennis courts steer in one of the direction of the vessel. So it need to be in the right way how to do it, and also we need the right way to operate. And we want also from our captains to be able to do it. And if not, how to find a solution then to not to risk their life. Our goal is, of course, to optimize the usage of our TACs. We want to do it in the most economic and efficient way. Fuel optimization is one of the big tasks. Some figures about Hamburg, what we're doing. We have about 120 million ton throughput, nearly 8 million ton to use. It's the third biggest port in Hamburg. We as Fairplay, we operate in different ports, but Hamburg is quite important. We have very special conditions. Because we have a tide, we only can work twice per day for 5 hours. The rest of the time, the draft conditions are not good enough. We are there and operating there with 15 TACs. And due to the fact that the weather is changing, the planning process is interrupted. We have to start with something, but then everything happened by occasion, and that's the reason why we came up. We need to look and find a better way of doing this. We do about 10,000 towing jobs per year, just in Germany, and we have a couple of requirements from local partners. What do we do? It's the current situation. We do a rough planning at the start. It's about we are looking 2 weeks ahead in time to see which customers are coming, which vessels are coming. You have liner services where you can pretty much rely on the service schedule, but also you have customers coming with one single voyage from Miami to Wilhelmshaven. Then you have to see it somewhere in the system and then start planning it. The more time proceeds, the better the planning gets, and then by coincidence, something is happening, the weather change, the requirements, and sometimes even the pilots, they change the system that one pilot feels not comfortable with 2, he wants to have 3, but where to get the third TAC. And this gives us a complexity and say, we have to find a better way of this scheduling. Therefore, high complexity in the planning process. We're coming really from 10 years ago. It was we did it with pen and paper, so we're happy where we are at the moment. But we see a big step forward. Shipping industry by itself is a very not advanced topic, but I think we are on the right track to have partners like Fraunhofer and Softpark to give it a change. Therefore, the dynamic changes, planning changes, and we have some changes at any time. And then I want to hand over to you.
Yeah, now I take over a bit. Basically, we want to integrate a quantum solution into a bigger software framework. And what we want to do is really to give a decision support. Because as you heard, this is really a critical system. People can really die if you do something completely stupid. So it's better to support people with a large expertise than to just say, okay, the computer will do it, and probably doesn't. We have already some software in which we integrate, and luckily we do have something like a data warehouse, which can give us all the parameters that we need for our algorithm, and then the algorithm can provide some plans, which then can be probably taken into account by the dispatchers. So the goal here is to really offer something automated and to offer something based on quantum computing and it should be efficient, it should be robust, and the cost functions go towards minimal fuel consumption, but also the timely provision, which is important because basically at some point in the harbor, the ships are coming. They can't turn around anymore, and they don't care. I mean, you know, like there has to be a tugboat basically at that point in time. And also what we want to have is a high utilization of the tugboats. So how do you go about with such a problem? We are at the moment in the beginning, right? I mean, the project has just started, so part of it is a plan and part of it has already happened. So the first steps have already happened, such as that the input parameters have been identified and we have formulated the problem as a mixed integer linear programming problem. And our cost functions are to minimize the delays, that we really have something which is there timely, to minimize the bunker times, and to have a minimal number of active tugboats, because if we can actually do something that we need less boats, that would be, of course, helpful for profits. What we are very happy about is that we have this realistic modeling. So we have already done some interviews with the dispatchers, and they have explained the problem to us, which is extremely helpful because we are not speaking about something theoretical, but we are speaking about real problems, and we have also seen very easy avenues beyond quantum computing, how we can actually combine data and have metadata which can help with the scheduling. Concerning the problem itself, as already the previous speakers have said, you need to decompose such problems. They are too big for the current hardware. And the way we plan to do the decomposition is with the help of benders. So there are different decomposition methods for MILP problems, such as Danzig-Wolfe. You can do a parameter fix. And you can do benders. Benders is good when you have continuous and discrete parts in your problem, which we believe we do have. And what we are going to do is to split this problem up into a master problem and a subproblem. A master problem being the discrete part, which is actually the hard part to solve. And this is going to be solved by the quantum computer. But the classical computer is going to help, so it's a hybrid system in itself by solving the continuous parts and generating cuts which are decreasing the problem space. This is an iterative approach, so at some point we hope to have a good enough solution, basically. And the good thing about it is that the master problem can be easily reformulated as a QUBO, and therefore can run on the NISC devices which we currently have, which could be either annealing, where we have a lot of experience already with, or QAOA. We are, in addition, at the end of the project, we are also looking into early fault-tolerant quantum computing algorithms, and there especially into Grover adaptive search algorithms. Once we are there and we have solutions, we can review our solutions on the basis of historical data, which is amazing because it's something that we can really say, okay, this is a real solution. And we get an evaluation with the operation controllers or dispatchers who already did the interviews and who can help us to see if we actually have tackled the problems that they have on a day-to-day basis. So I already come to the conclusion because basically we are at the beginning. I can't show you any results yet. But what we have identified a problem that is important for the harbor of Hamburg, and we have formalized it and modeled it, and have started with the decomposition of the problem. The calculation on quantum computers is yet to come, and then we can also see how the potential is in terms of speed. As we have heard, there are no theoretical calculations on these algorithms yet to see how fast they are. The decomposition is, of course, needed because the NIST devices are too small for the big problems to be solved on. And here we believe that this domain knowledge that we have, plus the methods that we use and where we have expertise, are going to deliver our advantage here in the problem, because we can then kind of fit the problem onto the current hardware capacities. And we believe that there's a potential for mathematical optimization present. So for further questions, you can either ask us afterwards, and if you don't want to do that, here is the contact. And that's also for the silent partner, SoftPark, who isn't here today, but is part of the consortium. Yeah.